I love Killer Mike. I think he stands for so many great things. He was speaking in Atlanta, and he said some really powerful things about instead of. Put a video up of him talking, but he said something along the lines of instead of destroying where you're from, fortify where you're at. Along those lines, like fortify your home, become a place for people to come and get together and feel safe and that sort of deal, instead of burning down homes and that sort of deal. So, Killer Mike made that emotional plea for calm as a protest in Atlanta, as police brutality turned violent. Atlanta, surprisingly, I mean, we saw it from Minneapolis. It's extended across the country, and Atlanta's one of the deepest histories in Black Americans. You got Martin Luther King, Malcolm X spent a lot of time there. They had their first police officers had to change in like a YMCA or something like that. They wouldn't even be able to change with the police force and all sorts of stuff. So here's a video of Killer Mike. He'll really sum that up a lot better than I could right now.
I didn't want to come, and I don't want to be here. I'm the son of an Atlanta City police officer. My cousin is an Atlanta City police officer, and my other cousin, East Point police officer. And I got a lot of love and respect for police officers, down to the original 8 police officers in Atlanta that even after becoming police had to dress in a YMCA because white officers didn't want to get dressed. And here we are 80 years later. I watched a white officer assassinate a black man. And I know that tore your heart out. That it is your duty not to burn your own house down for anger with an enemy. It is your duty to fortify your own house so that you may be a house of refuge in times of organization. And now is the time to plot, plan, strategize, organize, and mobilize. It is time to beat up prosecutors you don't like at the voting booth. It is time to hold mayoral offices accountable, chiefs and deputy chiefs. Atlanta is not perfect, but we're a lot better than we ever were, and we're a lot better than cities are. I'm mad as hell.
What do you think that should be done different?
I don't know, man. I don't know much about being a cop or even trying to be one. All I know is that the process doesn't take that long. I just think there's not enough time to train these officers, fully train them. I think they need more social skills than skills with a gun.
For sure. I think also that you look at the guy who murdered George Floyd, and there was a lot of things going against him. People made a lot of complaints and filed reports, and what really was followed up by that? I mean, if he was still there, if he was still in the force, was still able to do what he did, you know, it seems like a while ago he should have been taken out and
or at least sat down and really screamed like, yo, what's going on? Like, this can't be happening if you want to keep a job. Like,
yeah,
it's too much power on their end, man. Like, they protect their own, and it's like when that happens, they're isolating themselves from us.
Me and Dylan were even talking about this on the way over. It's the issue of how they are given resources to be able to control. I was telling them it's funny how the media was talking about, oh, look how cops are getting personal cameras on them and on their cars and being monitored at all times. But what the media wasn't talking about is how the cops have the ability to control those cameras that they're using, those recording devices, at all times. So what about, you know, all the other Georgians that were in the same situation and have no evidence or proof on their end to be able to stand up and say that they were being taken advantage of.
Yeah.
And I was telling, we're talking about how individuals that are able to witness this and use their recording devices when they go to police stations to make a report on it, all the cops want to do is, like you said, they're such an exclusive community that they're like, oh, okay, you want us to punish the guy? Okay, he gets a paid suspension.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't lose the pension.
Mm-hmm. Nothing.
Yeah.
Doesn't get no evaluation.
Nothing.
No screening. Just
I mean, look at the I don't know what state it was in. I can't remember, but the unarmed black guy who was jogging and got killed by those two white guys. They like took it upon themselves, and I believe they killed him with a shotgun. Like, that's so brutal. It's so brutal. It doesn't even really matter how brutal it is. It's wrong, but it's just like, it's so hard to see things like that. And the police were just going to let them off. It took a while before the video surfaced, and that only once light was brought to it and people started, complaining and getting online and it started going viral, then the police were like, oh, I guess we should, take care of this or whatever.
Even Raul was bringing out to my attention how the guy that recorded it wound up getting arrested as well. And I was just out of curiosity. I was like, well, what was it? Because I didn't watch the video. I just, to me, just watching these videos just put me in a state of just speechlessness and unbelief and a little bit of anger. So I just don't try to expose myself to these videos. But when this is being brought up by our nation, I get a little curious. So I was like, oh, so like what was going down in that scenario? And he was like, yeah, the guy just literally just was there witnessing this black individual get murdered, and was just a witness, like in a way to where it looked as if he was an accomplice. And other individuals that watched this video was like, yeah, who was this guy? Like, what is he going to get any charges as well? Because in the video you could tell that he just was trying to, he was just wanting to be a witness to it. He just wanted to record and didn't even want to tell these guys, hey, I'm gonna call the cops, or I'm calling the cops right now and going to get them and going to get the authorities over here. He just waited for the guy to get killed. And I was like,
yeah,
dang. I was like, that's as cold blooded as just pulling the trigger when you think about it.